Prince Harry's recent appearance on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon took a dark and unexpected turn, causing widespread media backlash and leaving many to wonder about his polarizing status in the public eye. What started as a light-hearted conversation about his charity work quickly spiraled into an uncomfortable spectacle, drawing intense reactions from both the live audience and viewers across the globe. Initially greeted with polite applause, Harry soon faced an unnerving shift in the atmosphere. Boos echoed from the audience shortly after the interview began, catching both Harry and Jimmy Fallon off guard. Fallon, clearly attempting to keep the conversation positive, steered the discussion towards Harry's charitable efforts, particularly his work with children impacted by HIV/AIDS. But the negativity in the room only intensified, especially when the Duke of Sussex began talking about his life in America, the future he envisions with Meghan Markle, and their plans for raising their children in the U.S. It was here that the tension reached its breaking point. The audience's reaction turned hostile, with some members openly heckling Harry. A small yet vocal group shouted for him to leave the monarchy and go back home. Others repeatedly chanted, "Meghan," further escalating the situation. Fallon, who initially seemed determined to maintain the show's usual light tone, became visibly uncomfortable, his attempts to deflect the situation growing more strained as the hostility of the crowd increased. Harry himself struggled to maintain composure. He attempted to defend his choices and his move to the U.S., explaining the pressures he and his family faced while being members of the British monarchy. But his words fell on deaf ears, drowned out by the rising chorus of jeers. The tension between the prince and the audience was palpable, with Harry becoming increasingly distressed as the interview went on. The combination of heckling, boos, and the relentless chanting about Meghan Markle created a spectacle of discomfort that neither Harry nor Fallon could control. What was meant to be a platform for Prince Harry to highlight his charitable work turned into a public relations disaster. Feeling the heat, and likely sensing that the damage was irreparable, Harry made the unexpected decision to cut the interview short. He abruptly left the set, exiting before his scheduled musical performance, leaving Fallon alone to try and salvage what remained of the segment. The show ended on a somber note, with an air of confusion and unease hanging in the studio. The fallout from this disastrous appearance was immediate. Within hours, footage of the event went viral on social media, amassing over 10 million views. Some online commentators speculated that royalist factions might have orchestrated a social media campaign, encouraging the hostile reaction Harry received. Others pointed to a growing disillusionment with Harry and Meghan in both the UK and the US, suggesting that Harry's miscalculation of his audience's mood had backfired spectacularly. The incident also reignited debates about Harry's role in public life. Was this appearance meant to rebuild his image, or was it another misstep in a series of public relations blunders since his move to America? Many commentators suggested that the show had been arranged by Harry himself in an attempt to regain favor in the US, where his and Meghan's popularity has fluctuated. Instead of a triumphant return to the spotlight, the evening only served to underscore how far his star had fallen in the eyes of some Americans. The media storm following the event also highlighted a growing divide in public opinion about Harry and Meghan. While some expressed sympathy for Harry, pointing to the intense pressure he has been under since his departure from royal duties, others viewed the night as emblematic of what they perceive as a tone-deaf approach to his public life. Many of his detractors felt that Harry's comments about his family's move to the U.S. were out of touch, especially considering the privileges and opportunities he has had compared to ordinary Americans. Ultimately, this incident has further complicated Harry's already precarious public image. The boos and heckles that filled the Tonight Show studio were a stark reminder that the prince remains a deeply polarizing figure. Whether this latest public misstep will have long-term consequences for his efforts to connect with audiences in the U.S. remains to be seen, but it is clear that his appearance on Fallon's show has done little to help his cause. For now, Prince Harry faces an uphill battle to repair the damage from what will likely go down as one of the most uncomfortable and highly publicized interviews of his career. The night, meant to promote his charity work, will instead be remembered for the boos, the heckling, and his early exit from the stage, an indelible moment in the saga of his life post-monarchy.